In the previous videos, we have learned how to prove Gauss divergence theorem for flux density vectors given in rectangular coordinate system and spherical coordinate system. So with the help of this problem, we shall understand how to prove Gauss divergence theorem for a vector in cylindrical coordinate system. Okay. Let us look into the problem. A vector is given, a vector field in terms of R and Z. So the given vector is A. 30 e power minus R A cap R minus 2Z A cap Z. Here A can be any vector, any flux density vector. Needs not to be always electric flux density, but A should have the partial derivatives. Then only Gauss divergence theorem is verifiable. So this vector A is having two components. One is R component, let us say AR. Another one is Z component. Phi component is 0. It's not there. So we can verify Gauss divergence theorem for this vector in the defined region. See the region defined, R equal to 2. Radius of the cylinder is 2. Cylindrical coordinate system it is. Z equal to 0, Z equal to 5. Z equal to 5 represents the top surface of the cylinder. Z equal to 0, the bottom surface. So we have to construct a cylindrical closed surface with radius 2, height varying from 0 to 5. I have a cylinder here. Yes. Let us put in all the values given in the problem. Let us say, so the cylinder is coaxial to Z-axis as per the standards of the cylindrical coordinate system. So the larger value of the Z is 5 with respect to 0. So 0, Z equal to 0 represents bottom surface. Z equal to 5 represents the top surface of the cylindrical system. The radius here is taken as R. It is given as 2 meters. 2. Radius is the distance perpendicular to Z-axis. So these are the informations given. Now let us go to the equation of Gauss divergence theorem. In terms of vector A, that is closed surface integral of A over the closed surface S is equal to volume integral of divergence of A throughout the volume, let us say V, enclosed by the surface S. Here the closed surface is the complete closed cylinder. It includes top surface closed, bottom surface closed, and the cylindrical side. So when you have to perform closed surface integration over the cylinder, we have to perform 3 different integrals. one over top surface, another bottom surface, and side the cylindrical side. Let us consider the left-hand side of the Gauss divergence theorem, that is closed surface integral of A. This closed surface is splitted into three different integrals. The first integral for the top surface, the second integral for the bottom surface, the last one is the cylindrical side. If you carefully observe, these three surfaces are defined by certain constant parameters. For example, top surface, Z value is constant 5. So the top surface is held at exactly Z equal to 5. So Z do not vary, doesn't vary over the top surface. Similarly, on the bottom surface, Z value remains 0. When you say cylindrical side, the radius remains constant at 2. So R equal to 2 defines cylindrical surface. Z equal to 0 defines a circular bottom surface. Z equal to 5 defines a circular top surface. All three put together forms a closed surface. So after this, we should write the equations for differential surface elements over all the three surfaces. Now let us look into the top surface and bottom surface. Top surface, both are parallel to each other, similar in shape. So we can directly write for both of them. So when we consider cylindrical coordinate system, we have three variables, R, phi, Z. So in this problem, instead of rho, R is used to represent radial component. So throughout the derivation, we shall retain R to represent radial component. Phi is the angle, and Z is the linear element along vertical axis. So now for the top surface, Z is constant, Z equal to 5. So over top surface, does Z do not vary? Only R and phi will vary. So to define a surface element, we need two variables. So for the top surface, the variables are R and phi. Similarly, bottom surface, also the variables are R and phi. Whereas the cylindrical side, R remain constant. Only phi and Z are to be considered as variable. So if you recall the differential elements, what we have defined for cylindrical coordinate system, for R, it is dr. For phi, it is r d phi. Z, it is dz. These are the three differential element or differential lengths in cylindrical coordinate system. So top and bottom surface, Z remains constant. So we need to consider only the differential lengths of R and phi. So these two when multiplied will define a differential surface element. So that's why the ds element for top surface will be equal to the multiplication or product of dr and r d phi. So that becomes r dr d phi. there won't be any dz. dz is 0. dz means change in z, which is always 0 on the top surface. But the direction ds needs to be defined as a vector. So the direction of the top surface is a cap z. The top surface points upward towards positive z axis. Similarly, for bottom surface, which is also having similar definitions, this is also r, dr, d phi. Only thing is the bottom surface of the cylinder acts downward. So that's why its direction can be taken as minus a cap z. In the similar way, when you want to write differential surface element for the cylindrical side, we shall follow the same methodology. For this side, r is constant. So dr is 0. Change in radius is 0 for the given cylindrical surface. So we have to use other two variables to define ds. So if when you multiply these two, so we get an equation r d phi into dz. This gives a differential area on the cylindrical side, but the direction of the cylindrical side is a cap r. So if you go back to the diagram and observe carefully, any surface area will be having a direction perpendicular to its plane. So the top surface is the circle. What is perpendicular to the top surface is z-axis, positive z-axis. Bottom is negative. But the cylindrical side is having a perpendicular direction of a cap r, radial direction. So top and bottom surfaces having unit vector a cap z to represent the direction, the cylindrical side a cap r. So these three elements are very useful for us to perform closed surface integration. So now let us consider the first integral over the top surface, for which z value is 5. So now we have to consider a vector here to substitute. A is equal to 30 e power minus r a cap r minus 2z a cap z. This has to be substituted in all integrals. So in place of a, we write 30 e power minus r a cap r minus 2z a cap z dot ds over top surface, that is r dr d phi a cap z. Similarly, the integration over bottom surface over which z is 0 can be written as 30 e power minus r a cap r minus 2z a cap z. The same vector, but here we will be having negative z direction over the bottom surface. Lastly, the cylindrical side, which is having a radial value of 2 over 8, will give us a dot product defined by this equation. Here it is r d5 dz a cap r. So we have written the three integrals completely. So we shall perform now the dot product here. So in the second term, we have a cap z. A cap z dot a cap z is 1. A cap z dot a cap r is 0. So the first product goes to 0. Same thing happens in the second integral also. In the third integral, a cap r dot a cap r. First term will be retained. Second term goes to 0. A cap z dot a cap r is 0. So we will get now simplified terms here. Integral of our top surface. So we are having minus 2z into r dr d5 for the top surface, for which z equal to 5. In the second one, the minus sign comes out. We will be having integral over the bottom surface. As we have discussed, the z equal to 0. We are having same minus 2z r dr d5. For the third term, plus integral of the cylindrical side over which r value is 2. ar dot ar is 1. So we are having 30 e power minus r into r d5 dz. So the integration now, one by one. So on the top surface, let us put z equal to 5, if at all if it exists, and we can keep it outside as a constant. So minus 2 is constant. Here is a z value. This value becomes 5. So that is 5 now. The two integrals, one with respect to r, another with respect to 5. So r into dr is one integration, d5 is another integration. The limits also, if want, we can write here. For r is equal to 2 given for the complete cylinder, the space inside the cylinder, for you can take the top surface of the cylinder is this one. When you take the top view, it looks like exactly the square in shape. The radius is 2. If you want a closed circle, then radius varies from 0 to 2. The radius varies from 0 to 2, if at all if you want closed cylinder on the top surface. So that's why r becomes variable for the top surface. Phi is complete circular shape, will give us total circle 0 to 2. Similarly, the second integral, minus into minus 2, minus into minus is plus 2, and z value here it is 0, so that is why 0. So other part of the integration not required because complete thing goes to 0. And in the last term, 30 is constant and r is a constant here, so we have to put r equal to 2. Here also r equal to 2. So one r I am going to put 2, another e power minus 2. Integration is with respect to phi and z. For z 0 to 5, height of the cylinder, phi is the angle for the complete cylindrical 0 to 2 pi. Okay. So now it is minus 10. Integration of r is r square by 2, 0 to 2, the limits This is 2 pi minus 0. Second term is completely 0. Third one is 60 e power minus 2. Integration of d phi is 5. Upper limit minus lower limit is 2 pi minus 0. And this is also z 5 minus 0. Here it is minus 10. Upper limit 2 square by 2 for upper limit. Lower limit is 0 by 2 is 0 into 2 pi. Plus here it is 60 into 5 is 300 into 2 pi to e power minus 5. E power minus 2. So we can take calculator and find the final answer here. So we will let us find out what it is. It is 129.44 coulombs. So the left hand side, there's the integration over the closed surface of given cylindrical system is completed. Let us evaluate the RHS of the Gauss divergence theorem, which is containing volume integral of divergence of vector A throughout the volume inside the cylinder. So let us start with the divergence of A first. Consider your del dot A, and we have to expand del dot A in cylindrical coordinate system. So that is going to be 1 by rho. Here it becomes 1 by r. Dou by dou rho becomes dou by dou r. R into, in place of dr, we have to write A, the regular formula. So we are writing del dot A here in terms of A vector components. Now the second term is 1 by radius, partial differentiation with respect to phi of A phi. The last one is partial differentiation with respect to z. And we know that in the given equation AR is given, AZ is given, A phi is 0. It's not given in the problem. That's why this complete integration goes to 0. Complete differentiation goes to 0. So therefore 1 by r, dou by dou r of r into AR. AR is 30 e power minus r as per the problem. And second term is 0. Differentiation with respect to z is for minus 2z. So now del dot A equal to 1 by r is outside the differentiation, so no change. Here we have to be careful, 30 is constant. And we have to differentiate r into a power minus r. So we can use product rule, that is UV method, that is differentiation of UV product rule. Keep U as it is, differentiate V, plus keep V as it is, differentiate U. You can use the product rule here, guys. So what I suggest is that first keep R as it is, differentiate e power minus R. Differentiation of e power minus R is e power minus R into minus 1 plus Next, keep v as it is. That is a power minus r as it is. Differentiate r. Differentiation of r is 1. That makes the differentiation. And in the last term, it is minus 2. So finally, divergence of A becomes multiply with 30 by r. R cancelled here. We are left with here minus 30 a power minus r. Again here is plus 30 by r into a power minus r minus 2. So this gives us the divergence of A for the given A vector. Next is the RHS, that is volume integral of divergence of A. So let us substitute for the divergence term minus 30 a power minus r plus 30 by r a power minus r minus 2. This is the divergence term. Next is dV. dV is the differential volume element in cylindrical coordinate system, that is r dr d phi dz into r dr d phi dz. No dot product here, it's volume element, just simple multiplication. The next is the triple integral r with respect to r phi z, you know that. So we can separate the terms. The first term completely includes r variable. So the first integral, let it be with r, it's minus 30 into exponential term plus 30 by r into exponential minus 2 into r into dr. This makes the first integral. Second integral is a simple one with the d phi, the third one with the dz. And we know the limits here. For z limit is 0 to 5, phi limit is 0 to 2 pi, and r limit is 0 to 2. To define complete space, there is complete volume inside the cylinder. First, let us perform these two integrals, which are easy. d phi integration gives 2 pi, dz integration 5. So keep 2 pi into 5. Ready? Next, we have only one integration, 0 to 2. Let us multiply with this r throughout. So then we get minus 30r into a power minus r plus r cancelled here. We are left with 30 into a power minus r and minus 2r into dr. So the integration includes 3 terms, 2, 3. So what we can do, we can keep the 10 pi completely outside. So we can go for the integration separately. First one, minus 30 is constant. We have r into a power minus r into dr. Can make it one integration. Next one is 30 integral of e power minus r, again r is equal to 2. Here integration was common, separate outside it was written. Now we can take it in for each term separately. Next is minus 2 equal to 0 to 2 r dr. Now this becomes easy now. 10 pi. Here we have a product rule for integration. It is product rule for integration. So whenever the product rule contains e power minus r term, we can easily find the answer for this integration using Bernoulli's method. That is, minus 30 is constant for the first term. In the Bernoulli's term, what we do, we keep on differentiating the non-exponential term, that is r term, and we keep on integrating the exponential term till we get 0. So what we shall do, the method goes this way. First, in the very first step, we write r as it is. But the exponential term should always be kept on integrating till the end. Integration of e power minus r is e power minus r divided by minus 1. Now the second term of this integration is going with opposite sign. Here sign is plus. The first term contains positive polarity. Now we are going to change it negative. We have to change the sign in every term. First to start with plus, then minus, again plus, minus, we go in that direction. Okay. So hereafter, keep on differentiating r and keep on integrating e power minus r by minus 1 till we get 0. Okay. So differentiation of r is 1. Then integration of e power minus r is divided by minus 1. 1 e power minus 1 is already there in the previous step. Next, we change the sign, minus to plus. Differentiate 1 now. First, we differentiated r, we got 1. Now we differentiate 1, we'll get 0. So that 0 into anything is 0. See, this completes the integration, that is r into e power minus r. Limits 0 to 2. Now in the second step, plus 30. This is easy. Only one term is there under integral sign, that is e power minus r divided by minus 1. For this also, we have to apply the limit 0 to 2. Lastly, integration of r is r square by 2. The limits 0 to 2. The bracket. Now let us apply the limits. Ten pi. First, we shall apply the upper limits. That is 2, r equal to 2. 2 e power minus 2 divided by minus 1. Minus. Now we shall apply the lower limit for this term. First term, lower limit. The lower limit is 0. So if you put r equal to 0 here, everything goes to 0. So that completes the substitution. Now we'll go to second term. 1 minus 1 into minus 1 is plus 1. So it is minus of e power minus 2 minus e power 0. 0 is the lower limit. So this completes the substitution for the first integral. Now let us proceed to second one. 30 and there is -1, we can also take it to numerator. Apply the limit to e power -2 and e power 0. Upper limit is 2, lower limit is 0. So that makes the second integral. Actually, here it is -2, and 2 is constant, take it out, divided by 2. We shall substitute for r, 2 square minus 0. So now, further simplification is possible. -30, here it is minus, so we can make it minus into minus plus. So also we can make 30 into 2 as 60. This is 60 into e power -2. And this 30 is multiplying all these terms. Therefore, minus into minus plus 30 e power -2. This minus into minus plus, and here is one more minus, e power 0 is 1. So that makes it 30. This is e power 0 is 1. 1 into 30 is 30. Then here it is minus 30, this term, into e power -2, plus into minus minus. This is already minus, see, minus 30. Minus 30 into minus is plus. E power 0 is 1. So this becomes plus 30. And finally, here 2 and 2 cancelled, minus 2 square is 4. So if you observe here carefully, 30 cancelled, 30 into exponential term is also cancelled, and we are left with only 10 pi 60 e power -2 into 4. So using calculator, we can find this value. This value is found to be 129.44 coulombs. So the integration, that is surface and volume, both the integrations gave us 129.44, hence the divergence theorem. This is the proof of divergence theorem. Hence the given vector A satisfies the divergence theorem for the given space.